Good morning. Welcome into Sports Talk at the stadium here at Death Valley at Clemson. As I record this post-game report, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. My question is, do you know where your Clemson Tigers are? Well, let me tell you, your Clemson Tigers are atop the Atlantic Division in the ACC and looking good for another division title and another spot in the ACC championship game. And your Clemson Tigers will be in the top 3 in the country when the polls come out on Sunday. And your Clemson Tigers are in a great position to be back in the college football playoffs this coming December. That's right. The semifinals are on New Year's Eve, December 31st. Likely for Clemson, if things work out, they'll be in Atlanta. All of this because they held on at the very end, thanks to a great defensive play by Marcus Edmond, to beat Louisville here tonight, 42-36. This was Ali Frazier. This was Hagler and Leonard. These are two really good teams duking it out, and each one laying haymakers, but not able to knock the other one out. Clemson dominated early. Looked like they were going to run away with it at halftime. And then Louisville came back and just completely dominated things in the third quarter, running off for 26 unanswered points in the third quarter into the fourth quarter. But when it mattered most, Clemson came alive, and Deshaun Watson came alive, and he pushed his team and he willed his team to this victory. He had a couple of late touchdown passes. He had a 2-point conversion. All that was great, but it came down to a single defensive play. And, well, they were down at the Clemson 9-yard line. They were facing 4th and 7. They had to get to the 2 for a first down. So it's 4th and 7 from the 9 for Louisville in the final seconds. And they get a penalty as a motion penalty. So it takes them back to the 14. They still had to get to the 2 for the first down. They throw a little swing pass to their great receiver, Quick, and he tries down the sideline to get to the marker. And Marcus Edmond, a guy that, he wasn't heavily recruited out of Lower Richland. He's kind of worked hard and taken his time and developed here at Clemson. He came up and made the play. He pushed Quick out of bounds, a yard short of the marker, and that saved the game for Clemson. Now, had he gotten the first down, there was no guarantee they would score, but the way Louisville is offensively, my guess is they would have scored the touchdown there and won the ball game. So that play saved the day for Clemson. So, boy, what a night it was. A fantastic weather, and the crowd was absolutely off the charts, over 83,000, loud. I mean, I've heard comments from people who've been here a long time saying it was the loudest they've ever heard it at Death Valley. And that includes, of course, the Notre Dame game of last year, the Florida State game of last year, count all the South Carolina games, et cetera, et cetera. It was loud in here, and they made a difference because Louisville suffered from a number of procedure penalties. They had 11 penalties on the night, and Bobby Petrino, he's going to mark off some officials from this game, I'm sure, because he was not happy with some of the calls. And there were a couple of obvious bad calls that went against Louisville in this game. And they did have an impact, those calls. But, Clemson, when it looked like they were going to be left for dead, they just came up with the big play. Artavis Scott with a huge kickoff return late to spark a quick touchdown. Jordan Leggett coming up late with the touchdown receptions to put the Tigers back in it and back on top. Mike Williams had several big catches. Wayne Gallman got it going, over 100 yards rushing. This was the game offensively where the Tigers kind of came back and looked like Clemson of last year. They had over 500 yards of offense and quick striking. You add up the number of plays and the amount of time it took for them to score several of their touchdowns combined in a very short amount of time. So they looked a lot like their old selves. Deshaun Watson was fabulous. He did have 3 interceptions on the night. One wasn't his fault, really. It bounced off of McLeod's hands, and you can't blame that one on the quarterback. He did have a good night percentage-wise throwing the ball. He did throw for over 300 yards, 5 touchdown passes, and he rushed for 91 yards. So it was a good complete effort by Watson. So here it is, early Sunday morning, and Clemson is in great shape. They're only 5-0. Haven't reached the halfway point yet, but 2-0 in the ACC. But this was a big, big hurdle. And with Florida State losing too, they're pretty much out of it. And Clemson, of course, in terms of winning their division, can still lose to Florida State down in Tallahassee and still win their division. Of course, they're not thinking that because they're thinking run the table once again and get to the playoffs. And this win continued some very impressive streaks for the Tigers. 19 in a row at home with Florida State losing. That's now the longest home winning streak in the country. 19 in a row overall as well. Regular season games, 19 in a row, and now 11 in a row in ACC competition. So very, very impressive run here by the Tigers. And they go up to Boston College on Friday night, where I would expect, barring catastrophe, that they will add to the winning streak. So a great night here at Clemson. And today, Sunday, we'll have Dabo Swinney's conference call for you. And, of course, on Monday night, complete coverage and conversation about it. And if you have some comments now that you want to get to us and you don't want to go on Twitter or leave us a message on the website, look on the website for the What the phone line and call in and leave your comments there. And the good ones we'll put on the air. All right, we appreciate that. All right, Clemson wins it here at the Valley, 42-36. Great night, great football game. What a day of college football. And this just capped it off on top of the Georgia-Tennessee game and the Florida State-North Carolina game and the Charleston-Southern Coastal Carolina game. If you're a college football fan, man, and you took in all those games, you capped it off with this one. You look back and you said, this was a great day. That'll do it from the Valley. Have a great Sunday, and we will talk to you Monday nights here on Sports Talk.